We're going to look at some multimedia projects on a budget. I'm Bill Hatfield. I'm the Library Media Specialist at Madison Middle School in Richmond. Does everyone see my presentation up?
Yes.
Awesome. I'll go ahead and look at the agenda real quick. We're going to look at some resources. I'm going to kind of give you a demonstration explanation of those resources and how I use them in class, and then we'll go over any questions. I'll be honest with you, the way that I found, most of this stuff is going to YouTube and, asking how do I use Pixlr, how do I use WeVideo, and so on. And so if I'm not really great at these explanations, YouTube is an awesome resource for that. Any questions on the agenda? I just saw a question. Will I be sharing the presentation? Yes. There's also, I believe that they're going to record this and put it out on YouTube. But yes, I will be sharing this presentation. I will send a link. I sent a link to Cynthia Warner of the presentation, and I'll send one out as well, or give you my email address. And at the end of this, and you can get the presentation later, okay? All right, so the resources that we're going to look at today, I'm going to look at video, audio, some photo, digital art, infographs, timelines, and some coding. The video we're going to look at is WeVideo and Adobe Spark. To be totally honest with you, I don't know a whole lot about Adobe Spark. It looks a whole lot like WeVideo. I saw a presentation on that at KISTI last year, and it looked interesting. However, Adobe Spark doesn't seem to have the same green screen applications that WeVideo does. Soundtrap is the audio I'm going to use. All of these are free to use. They do have some limitations on the trial and the free application, but you can purchase the full-blown application if you'd like. I just saw that Adobe Spark does have time limits for the free version, and so does WeVideo, I believe. There are some time limits on that. I have bought WeVideo for 30 seats in my library that students use. I think it was about $199 for a license for 30 of those, and I swap students out, when they need those. If someone needs it and there's not a seat and someone's not using it, you can easily swap that out. I think it was about $199 for a year, and I believe through the coronavirus that they gave a school an entire, a school-wide license for that. I don't know if that is still going on or not, but they did have that last year, and we were able to purchase or get that for our entire school last year during our NTI days. Pixlr is the photo editing application that we're going to look at today. It's very similar, I think, to Photoshop. Actually, it's probably a lot easier than Photoshop. It's entirely web-based. It will work on any platform. Digital art, Canva is what I'm going to look at. You can make posters with that and so on. I'll show you some examples of what students did. Infographs and timelines. I've used Vengage and I've used TimeToast in the past. Vengage is kind of cool. I'll show you a few things on that one that students have done. TimeToast is a really good timeline. It's interactive. It's really cool. And then the last one is coding that we're going to go over. Scratch. It is excellent if you've done any of the hour of code stuff. A lot of that uses Scratch, and I'll show you how you can use that for really any type of content area. Okay. Any questions on our resources? Okay. If not, okay, I'm going to go on to video editing. Okay, we're going to look at WeVideo and Adobe Spark. Well, I want to play this real quick for you. This is one that some 6th grade students of mine did with WeVideo last year, and actually, I think, placed 3rd in a contest with some safety thing that Kentucky did. Actually, we got a $50 check out of it. So hopefully this will work for you. Yeah, that was a cute little 30-second video that they did for I Care Kentucky on Halloween safety. Again, using green screen, using some robots, remote control robots that we had of R2D2 and BB-8. Here's a book trailer that a young lady did last year, again with WeVideo. It probably took her maybe 30 minutes tops to do, and she did an excellent job on that. As you can see, the music is the same. Okay, hopefully this will work. I'm going to stop sharing this presentation for just a second. We'll go to WeVideo and I'll let you look at that. Some of the things that you can do on that.
Bill, while you're doing that, we had a question about Adobe Spark has time limits on videos. Is that right?
That is what I understand. Like I said, I've never really used Adobe Spark a whole lot. I saw a little bit of it, so I wanted to include that. And I think the WeVideo free also has Adobe Spark, or also has some time limits on that. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up a WeVideo application here. I'm going to sign in with my Google account. And while this is going on, does anyone have any other questions? Feel free to either chat or speak up or let Amy know if you have a question. Okay, so I may not be able to get on WeVideo. Let's see. Okay, let's go to another account. Out here. Sign in with Google. What happened there was I had a school-wide account. It's lapsed. I told them not to pick it back up until the middle of August. So I'm going to log in with my personal account. And you can see right now how you can log in yourself. I guess that works out. And okay, so we're going to go ahead and just create a quick video. I'll show you how to do that. And if anyone has used this before, you know, and have some tips, let me know what if you have any questions on that. or have any tips rather. Okay, so I'm going to add a couple of media files to this. When it pops up, it just kind of gives you a blank canvas to start working with. I'm going to go ahead and add some media files. Go ahead and select some. I'm going to select some pictures of Aiden. He's a young man that I was working with earlier with a sword, and I'm going to go ahead and add a few more things. Import a few more. Drag in a me and that R2D2 that we had earlier today. All right, so I've got 4 files that I want to put in there. Let's just put Aiden in first. You just drag him down. Now, as you can see, there's a video 1 and a video 2. Whatever is on top is going to be on top. So if I put Aiden on top and then I put the dragon underneath him, Aiden is going to be in front of the dragon. If I flip-flop it, the dragon would be on top. So I can have a small, short video of that. I'm going to go ahead and drop me down here next to Aiden. Actually, I'm going to pull Aiden out a little bit, make him a little bit longer. And the dragon a little bit longer. And here's a photo of me. And now I'm going to get rid of this green screen back here. So the way you do that is you go to backgrounds. Oh, I'm sorry. Not correct. You double click on the clip that you want, and then you go up here to key coloring. And I can, what I want to do is get rid of that green. And save the changes that way. And now I can put me in front of that dragon also. And the same with, go back to the media of R2D2. I can do the same thing with R2D2. If I put him in here, oh, frozen up. It's trying to tell me to add some transitions in there. That later. I'm going to make the dragon a little bit longer. Have R2D2 in there with him. And double click on R2D2. Do the same thing. I'm going to do coloring. Get rid of all that green. Then I can move him around. I go into position, the R2D2 down here, and he's going to then when I go to play it, you'll kind of see all of this together. Okay, I can add transitions to this to in between scenes, make it look a little more professional. And from here, we're going to just look at audio real quick. Listen to the audio, see what it is that see if this is the one I want.
Hey, Bill, just for a second, this is Cynthia. Somebody's asking how much it costs. Is it still $5 per month for a subscription if you don't want the watermark?
I think it's per year, and it was $199. I think that might have gone up to $299 per classroom. So that's 30
See,
places, 30 seats for that. A couple of years ago, I got it for $199, and I just kind of kept it. But yeah, it's $299 a year, and it's a really good product for that, especially if you're a librarian and you have students that, you don't have 150 students using it across 5 classrooms. You only have students coming in for a short period of time. You can swap those out. You can delete some. You can add some more to it, kind of on the fly. I'm going to go ahead and stop here and see if there's any other questions. I'm going to go back to the chat and see if there was any other questions for that.
Yeah, Bill, this is Amy. There was a question about, it says for the free version, you can get 5 minutes of published per month. If you don't publish them, can you get more video?
To be honest with you, I don't know. When it says publish, I think that what that's meaning is that you can export it to an MP4 file or whatever. So probably 5 minutes a month, again, per account. So if I am the librarian and I only have a free version, I can do 5 minutes. But you have a student come in and he signs up, he's got 5 minutes per month and so on. What I like about the purchase version, though, is the COPA aspect of that, Child Online Protection Act. If the child comes in and signs up on it and they're under 13 years of age, they have to get the parents' permission. You don't have to do that if you have the purchase, because you're kind of in a sandbox there, and that stuff's not going out on the web.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions on that? I know we're kind of taking a lot of time on this, and I want to move on to a few other things. Anything else on WeVideo? I don't want to really get into Adobe Spark because it's very similar to this. Like I said earlier, YouTube is the way to go. I am, very, amateur on this. YouTube's really going to help you out a whole lot. Okay. Any other questions? All right. If not, we're going to move on to next application, which is audio. And this is one of my favorite ones. If you have MacBooks or if you have iPads with GarageBand, that's probably your best bet. Unfortunately, I only have one MacBook, and iPads are all 2nd generation, so they do not support GarageBand. So I had to find something else in, for me to use. And Soundtrap was what it was. Soundtrap is, again, the pricing is similar to the WeVideo. You do get a small, trial version of that if you would, you want to use that. It does have some limitations. If you are working with sound, what I have found is, kids will want to do this together. If you're doing this in groups, buy one of these things. You can plug in 5 sets of headphones into one computer, and they can all hear the same thing. You can get them 3 for $10 on Amazon, and it's really a lifesaver as far as if you want some peace and quiet in your library or your classroom. So let's look at Soundtrap real quick. If you've ever used GarageBand, Soundtrap is very similar to that. I'm going to go to Soundtrap real quick. Last year, I was able to purchase 50 seats for this. This is a little bit more expensive, and they don't like doing deals with you. But I'm going to go ahead and log in. Out of the way. Again, you can do the single sign-on with your Google. Okay. Again, my trial is expired, and I'm going to purchase it right now. Oh, yes. It looks like I may have to go back to free one. Okay, look at my projects. I'm going to go ahead and enter the studio. Create music, create podcasts. I guess I'm using too much resources. We're going to look at the beat. You know, you can look at the beat pattern maker later. Again, that's very similar to what's on GarageBand. But what I want to do is go ahead and add a new track. And let's just do voice and mics, whatever, you know, doesn't matter. And then I'm going to go over here to the loops, the little musical icon here. And from here, you can just start listening to different loops, different beats. Okay, kind of like that, a little funky. I'm going to go ahead and drag it over here. I added a new track. Okay, so let's stop that. I can make this longer if I needed to. And let's add some drums to this. Drag this over. But I'm going to have it come in at a little bit later time. And I'm going to go with some keyboards. And put it all together. You can also edit these to fade in, fade out, transpose, auto tune, reverse it. If you're recording voices, you can do robot voice. You can do all sorts of things. The way I used this was one of my lessons or projects that I did, and I'll share with you all at the end. Students had to create a playlist of a book that they've read, you know, some songs that reminded them of the book, and then also had to incorporate their own original music piece in there. And so we use Soundtrap for that. And once you get done with that, you know, you have everything that you wanted. Windows around. I just go up to File and I export that as an MP3. Any questions on Soundtrap?
There's one about how do you delete?
Oh, excellent question. How do I delete? So I don't like the jazz anymore. I just, you know, kind of highlight it and backspace. It should delete it. Maybe. I don't know. Delete. There we go. I left clicked or right clicked it. And move those around now. Any questions on Soundtrap? Again, it's a great tool for students to make their own music without having any kind of music talent. My sixth graders loved it. Back to our PowerPoint. I think I've got a couple of examples that students have done on this. Yes. Does everybody see the PowerPoint now? Do I have it up? Yes. Okay. So this is one that a student did. I believe this was Tamari, and he did. Yeah. His book was based on a video game, so he kind of created a sound, you know, a song that sounded like a video game. This was, who was that? I'll have to listen to it to remember. All right, this was Hannah, and hers was a little more trippy. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop that because it looks like we're about halfway finished with this, and I've only gone through 2 applications. So let's move on to photos, photo editing. As you can see, here are some photos that students have done. Do I have any questions left on Soundtrap?
There was one question about, can students use these as ringtones or create their own ringtone?
I'm sure you can on the newer phones. I don't know how, but I think you can use pretty much anything for a ringtone now. Again, just download it or export it as an MP3 and then put it on your phone. Here are some photos that students have done with Pixlr. You know, Anna and what's his name, Christoph, in front of the Eiffel Tower. We've got some Lego folks watching a movie, and this was one of a scary. This was actually behind our school. You know, a student took, you know, the original photos on the right, and then they made it kind of like a scary, you know, horror type photo on the left. What Pixlr does is it's great. Allows students to upload their own photos and manipulate. If you're going to use this, I wrote a grant last year. I spent, I think, $800 on a DSLR camera. It never gets used. You know, I'm sure it's a great camera. I haven't had the time really to learn how to use it, and the students would really rather just use cell phones. What I've got is like 5 cell phones in the library that I've got a barcode on. I allow students to check them out to take photos with. They automatically upload to my cloud drive, so I've got the photos right there on the cloud drive that I can, you know, have them manipulate from there. And they just come from either, you know, from my family when they upgrade, or from other teachers have donated. And you know, we just use cell phones. You know, I've got, like I said, I've got like 2 or 3 digital cameras that are sitting in a closet that we never use. So I'm going to go into Pixlr real quick. And browser. Yeah, this is a free, you know, application. It's web-based. It will work on any platform. You know, if you're using Windows, Mac, or Chromebooks. I've already signed in to this once today. I'm going to go ahead and go to Pixlr Editor. Pixlr X is great if you're just wanting to do something real quick, like change the color. Well, we'll go ahead and open that one up first, okay? So Pixlr X, I'm going to go ahead and open up an image. I'll pull Aiden up, but I'll pull the, actually, you know, let's just go ahead and open him up real quick.
There's a quick question about, can they take pictures on their Chromebooks and edit those?
Yes. Yeah, you can upload. I'll show you how to upload in just a second. Okay, so I've got Aiden here. I had him on a green screen with a a toy samurai sword, and really I'm just gonna kind of play around with it. I'm just gonna adjust the colors for it, make it a little bit more realistic, make it pop out a little bit more. I can change the tint of him. We are Madison Middle. Color was purple, so I'm gonna brighten that purple up, apply that, and now I've got a a picture of Aiden. I think this is what that student did when they were playing around with this spooky stairwell behind the school. Let's use that. But I'm going to get out of this, and I'm going to go to Pixlr Editor. This is the one.
No, you're not sharing your screen.
I'm sorry, I'm not sharing my screen.
No, sir.
Oh, I apologize. Let me go back to that. So you guys didn't see me do anything with Aiden at all, huh?
Okay. We did not.
Okay. Well, let me go back then. I'll go back to this and open up a picture of Aiden. He is on a green screen. Okay. So what I did was I had, what I did was I just took over here on the left, I've got several options. So I'm just going to close that. There we go. That's the problem. All right, my computer's messing up on me. Of course. Okay. All right, I'm going to adjust his colors. And it's just, just playing around with it. Give him a little bit more purple. Like I said, we are the colors are gold and purple. Apply that, save him, and you can kind of play around, download it, and so on. I'm not going to download this one. I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to go to Pixlr E. Y'all can still see this, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the Pixlr editor. This one has a little bit more oomph behind it. I'm going to go ahead and open up him in a green screen.
There's a quick question about, do you need a green screen?
I don't think so, because what I'm going to show you is going to get rid of all of the color, of a certain, it's going to get rid of all of the same color. So you can use a blue screen or you can use a white screen. However, if the child is wearing white or wearing blue, it's going to get rid of that also. So green is, this chroma color green is probably the best thing. What I did before I actually purchased, and green screens are not that expensive. You can get one on Amazon probably for about 20 bucks. But I went to Hobby Lobby and bought some stuff, just some green fabric, and used that for a long time. But I'm going to go ahead and unlock this. I'm going to flip him around, and I'm going to cut out everything that I can that is not green or Aiden, because I wasn't really good at the lighting on this. And so as you can see kind of right in here, you can see kind of some lights coming through the back of the green screen. So that's a different color than the rest of the green. So I'm going to apply this prop, and then I'm going to go over to the magic wand button. This is what I was talking about. If you had another color, if you had white and the student was wearing all black, it would work perfectly, because what we're going to do is going to get rid of all of the areas that are the same color or similar colors with this magic wand. So I click that and I click this and just hit my backspace, and it got rid of the wrong thing because he was turned around backwards. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of, I'm going to start all over. Again, I start over a lot on this. Let's do some redos. Okay. That's what I had the wrong mode selected. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and flip him left. We'll start this all over, this process all over. Okay, I saw a question about using a large piece of something. Is that correct? Like a piece of paper, I'm assuming?
Yes. Yes.
I would assume, especially if you didn't have any wrinkles on it. Again, wrinkles are going to cause shadows, and shadows are going to, you know, have a different color than the rest of this. So hopefully,
There was also,
yes, go ahead.
there was also a question about how do you rig your green screen?
How did I rig this one? This one actually was in the library when I took over. It has a kind of like a tripod in the back, or actually, I guess it's a quad pod in the back that stretches it out. What I have done, though, you know, my office has got drywall in it. It's not just all concrete, and I just put it up with thumbtacks in the back. So now, hopefully, we'll get rid of what we don't want on Aiden. And as you can see, not all of the green left, because it was just a slightly different tint than everything else. So I can still, you know, go back and hit those areas. I'm just going to get rid of that. And then if I wanted to get really fancy, I can hit the eraser button over here and start erasing things. Erase these green and down here, but I'm afraid I'm going to erase some of him too. Okay. If you blow it up bigger, you can kind of see how you can, you know, really get in there. But we're not going to do that, because what I'm going to do with him in just a second, I'm going to save it, and we're going to come back to him later on a different application. So on File, I'm just going to go ahead and save this image. I'm going to save it as a PNG file because that's going to just leave him. It's not going to have a background in it. And download Aiden, and I'm going to come back to him in just a second. Okay. Any questions on Pixlr?
Does it work well on a Chromebook?
It's kind of a it uses a lot of processing power. So yeah, I've used it on Chromebooks. The two pictures that are at the bottom of the stairwell, that I know was done on a Chromebook because it wasn't in my class, and that's all that they had in that other class. So yes, it does work well. Again, it may take a little bit longer just because of the processing speed, and some of the things are going to be lower. And it looks like that there's a Chrome app for that. Someone just popped it up there, a Chrome extension.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, digital art. This is Canva. If you're not using Canva, I really, you know, encourage you to do that. Look into it. Canva's totally free. The way that they make their money is that they sell graphics to you, or you can, you know, get your poster printed by them. But everything else on Canva is free. Here's some posters that students have made, you know, for some poster contests that we had, and of course for the viruses that we had going on. You know, we had School Spirit Week. You know, I had a student make posters for that, and then one for cleaning up our, you know, make sure we clean our computers. They can upload their own photos, their own logos. I know Adobe Spark has something similar to that if you use that, but I'm not very familiar with Adobe Spark. So I'm going to go ahead and we will go to Canva, and we're going to use Aiden again for that one. Okay. Okay, does everybody see Canva? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and create a design. And on this, we're just going to go ahead and create a poster. You can create all kinds of different designs, from invitations to CD cases or whatever. Canva gives you some great templates that one can start using. And it's taking a while because, okay. And let's just say, all right, I want to do this one. So I just double click it. It'll pop up over here eventually. There we go. And I can start manipulating this. I can take this out. I can change the font, change the words, you know, whatever. I can change the picture to something else if I wanted to use that. Different picture. Okay, I don't like those people, so I'm just going to get rid of those. And I'm going to go to my own uploads, and I'm going to put in this dragon that I uploaded earlier today. So, you know, students can create their own posters. Okay. And then the photo of Aiden that we had earlier today.
Where's that?
Okay, so now I've got Aiden fighting a dragon, but he's facing the wrong direction, so I'm going to flip him around. Okay, now I've got a poster that I can work with, you know, if I wanted to do movie posters. Again, the project that I'm going to show you at the end of this, that's another one of the steps the students had to do, is create a movie poster for their book, and they can do that. Now, I do want to warn you. So, like I said, Canva makes their money by printing your posters for you. So when you go over and you're ready to print this, if you hit print poster, it's going to say, you know, it's going to cost you money, and they're going to print it for you and send it to you. So what you need to do is export it. You need to download it, which is this button here. And I always just download it as a PDF, and then I can print that on my own colored printer poster or color printer. Any questions on Canva? We got about 10 minutes, and there's about 2 more things I want to show you that's really kind of neat.
There were a couple of questions. Can you export and print? I think you answered that one.
Yes. Yes. Download it as a PDF, and then you can print that, you know, on any printer.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Back real quick to, yes, you can also download it as a JPEG if you wanted to put it into a PowerPoint or some kind of presentation. Okay, VinGauge and TimeToast are 2 other applications that I want to talk about. Again, it's, you know, I'm not going to get into those because I want to spend a little bit of time on the coding, because I think that was really cool to do. But the VinGauge, you can see the VinGauge, the Venn diagram, the infographic that the student did on Timmy failure. All of that was kind of on there. He put some things in himself, but it has all kinds of templates already built for you that you can manipulate. TimeToast is kind of the same way. You can upload your own photos to that, put your own dates in there, And, you know, well, we'll go ahead and this one. This was a young man that I want to say, yeah, Jonathan. His class was to do a timeline 20 years, you know, your birth date in 20 years before your birth date or something. Can you guys see this? Are we sharing Ben Gage, or are you still looking at the PowerPoint? I'm sharing the PowerPoint.
You're sharing.
Oh, I'm sharing, I'm sorry, Time Toast?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so as you can see here, you know, Jonathan was born in February 9th, 2015. Okay, a few years before that was 9/11. You click, you know, you can click that and it pops up. You know, you can have a better description of that. You know, an important date in his life was when the iPhone was released. You know, you can click that. He adds his own pictures to it. Of course, you know, if you know Jonathan and know, you know, he classic rock.
We're not seeing an image.
Oh, you're not seeing the images?
No.
All right. See if I can share this then. All right, now can you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
We got it now.
All right. So going back to Jonathan, you know, Errol Smith broke up in 2016. That really broke his heart. The Cold War ended, you know, years before he was born, and so on. So this is kind of like his, you know, important milestones in his life and a little bit before. So again, this is free. I don't think you can print this one because it's all interactive. But what you do is you share that URL with your teachers or whoever you're turning it into or want to share it with. Go back to PowerPoint, and what we got, about 8 minutes left. Okay, coding. I want to do this one real quick with you all. Scratch is it's a free coding app. It's done by MIT. What I did is I used it for students to record their voices, and then they assign keys on the keyboard to run that command and play their voices back. So what we did here was, go back to that. So Mallory here read the Babysitters Club, and then she did a kind of a storyboard for the Babysitters Club using some cardboard, using a makey. You do not have to use a makey if you don't have one, but the way that she did it was she used the makey to emulate the keys on a keyboard, and she hooked those up to some buttons that she made out of, or you know, we made out of nuts and bolts. And you know, once you touch a button with a picture, it tells you about the you know, the character or the setting or so on in the Babysitters Club. I'll go ahead. This is her explaining how she did it.
I used Scratch to record myself describing my book. I coded each recording to a key on the keyboard. I made a board with pictures of characters, plot, and setting. I connected a makey to the board with wires that connects to the same keys I coded. When I press the button, it plays my recording.
Okay, so that was hers. This was another one. Well, shoot. This was another one the students did in a social studies class with the Mayans. Again, the same thing. They recorded their voices in Scratch. Then they assigned a key, let's say the letter A, to, you know, Maya's religion. And then they used the makey to, you know, connect, you know, the letter A to this, you know, conductive material, which was just a nut and a bolt. And once they pressed it, you don't have the makeys, or if that's, you're doing elementary and it's maybe too complicated, you can set a board up like this, with your pictures, and just put it on top of a keyboard. And let's say, instead of the Maya's religion, being a conductive bolt that they're touching, they just have to hit the letter A on the keyboard, and it will play that description for them. Any questions on that? Again, it's Scratch. You can Google it, but it's scratch.mit.edu. It's a free application. It's very simple. But you know what? We've got 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up for us and show you exactly how easy it is for students. And, because I don't know how to spell. So we're going to go ahead and create one. Like I said, if you've ever used Hour Code, you've probably seen something very similar to this. All right, so go to sounds and just go down here to record a sound. So yes, we need permission. And I'm going to start recording my voice right now. And as you can see this, and start recording my voice right now. And as you can see, all right, I want to go ahead and save it. Now I've got recording number 1. I can go back to code over here. Does everybody see this? Okay. So what we want to do now is we want to go to control, or I'm sorry, events. And when I can do when the little arrow is, we don't want to do the arrow. We want to do this one here where it says when, space is pressed. Well, I can change that to any letter on the keyboard. So let's go ahead and change it to up arrow. Now I go back to sounds, and I want to find that recording that I just created. And when I push the up arrow, start recording my voice right now, and as you can see, you're going to get that recording. So, like I said, you can create like a storyboard or a character analysis or whatever for students to use, and they don't have to have the makey, but that's great if they wanted to do that. But you can just use the regular keyboard on your computer and just set that display up behind it, and they can push those buttons, the keys on the computer. Any questions on that?
I don't see any questions.
All right.
Oh, sorry. There was one that just popped up.
Okay. I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint and give you my information. If there's no questions, here is my information. And what I did on all of these projects was I used just a menu board for students. We had a genre of the month. Students would come in, they would read a book of a certain genre, and then they would complete 3 of those projects, and all of these were part of those projects. Another thing that these projects do is most of them will relate to the STOP digital on demand judging. So you can, if you have students doing these projects, you can also enter those into the STOP events in January, February, whenever that digital online judging goes. Okay. So there's my information. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to call me. I'm not at school until the middle of August, but you can email me or check out our Instagram. We have a lot of this stuff on Instagram and some other things that are also going on. If if there's no questions, I appreciate everybody paying attention to me and making me feel important here.